Okay, welcome everyone. This is Sachin Karnik here. Good to see you all. This is week number 9 of the online Angel Wings Personal Transformation Program. We are continuing from last time, and we are going into, just lots of interesting subjects and discussions and whatnot. Please do keep in mind that we do have a disclaimer statement. If anyone has any questions about the disclaimer, please do send a message or contact me, and we can talk more about it in more detail if there's any specific questions about the disclaimer. Please remember the materials you need each week. If you have them, it's great. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. Please do attend the online program also. There's no worries with that. The 2 workbooks or notebooks, an envelope, blank card, some drawing paper, stuff like that. And we're going to begin with our grounding meditation. We'll get started with this right now.
Sometimes the mind can feel like a path.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. We are beginning workshop. We're continuing our workshop. This is week number 9. Just a quick reminder that of the central concept, we have broken that into 7 parts, and we're continuing to go further into the 6th point here, as we have been doing for the last 2 weeks. And then we'll move into the last, when we do the last 3 weeks, that'll be point number 7. So what I'd like you to do at this point, I'd like you to open workbook number 1. Put your name. If your name is already on there, probably. Put today's date on there, please. Just on the top. And then again, write down in yellow, or write down what is highlighted in yellow. In nice bold letters, or, capitalize each word, however you would like to do it, no problem. Unobstructed and undisturbed flow of energy creates a powerful foundation for limitless possibilities. Please write that in your own handwriting the way you want. Make it a title. And this is what we're going to be talking about further in additional ways through additional angles this evening. Once again, welcome to this evening's workshop, and thank you so much for your time and effort in engaging in this journey. So please write that down. I'll give you a moment to do that. As you're writing that down, I'm just going to read the paragraph here, and then we're going to talk about that a bit and then go further from that point. So when my energy moves freely within me, it's like having a clear path that allows me to do more and dream bigger. Right? So I'll give you a moment to finish your sentence before I read that. I don't want to talk over your writing. So unobstructed and undisturbed energy flow creates a powerful foundation for limitless possibilities. Please remember, our workshop is an application-oriented workshop. It's not simply ideas, it's all application. So please write down what is in yellow up there on the top of the page in workbook number 1. Okay. And after you've done that, I'm just going to read this, and we're going to talk about this a bit. Then we'll go sequentially, step by step. Nice and easy. So when my energy moves freely within me, it's like having a clear path that allows me to do more and dream bigger. This smooth flow of energy serves as a strong foundation, enabling me to achieve my goals and explore new things without any limits. It feels like I have a steady stream of power that keeps me going strong and opens up endless opportunities for me. This is written in very simple language. So what I'd like you to do at this point, we're going to write a couple of bullet points. In the first bullet point, from the first sentence, this is what I'd like you to write down, and you can change it the way you want. I'm going to read the sentence first, right? So what is the first sentence saying? When my energy moves freely within me. We're looking at the first person. Sachin is looking at Sachin. You have to look at yourself. The first point is free movement of energy. So bullet number 1, write this down. Free movement of energy, or you can write down my energy freely moves. Bullet number 1. This is what we want. We want to achieve this. We want to practice this, to understand this and to internalize this point. Right? This is conceptual. That's why we're writing it down and I'm talking about it. It helps me and it helps you. As you're writing it down, writing is a whole brain activity. Write it down. Write down the first bullet point. Free movement of energy. We don't want any blockages. It's easy to understand. Everybody can understand this. It's very simple to understand. Next bullet point is from the second part of the sentence. It's like having a clear path that allows me to do more and dream bigger. So clear path, bullet point number 2, clear path equals do more, comma, dream bigger. Act more or do, just make it simple. Do more, comma, act bigger. Comma, dream bigger. Our imagination expands. Our vision expands. Very simple. Keep it simple and to the point. Clear path equals do more and dream bigger. Second bullet point. Now the next sentence, I'll read it again and then we'll make the next bullets out of that. This smooth flow of energy serves as a strong foundation, enabling me to achieve my goals and explore new things without limits. So what is this saying? So third bullet point, smooth flow of energy, write that, equals strong foundation, comma, new exploration, comma, no limits, or going beyond limits. You can write it in simpler language than that if you want. Main point is smooth flow of energy equals what? What does it equal for you? You can select a couple of words from that sentence. Something that resonates with you. Take your time with it. And write down a couple of points that directly you want to apply this week. My smooth flow of energy, what is it going to do for me? Now you can elaborate on that later on, but right now we just want to make some bullets. We don't want limits. Obviously there are limits in life, but we can explore that dimension beyond our limits that we have now. Right? So smooth flow of energy builds a strong foundation. It builds it. Even one day spent, one 24-hour cycle with smooth flow of energy conserves tremendous amount of energy. It builds a powerful foundation, and we can do so much more with that and enjoy our life even further. So these are some ideas to really mull over, contemplate, and try. Okay, the final sentence, and then we'll make some bullets out of this. It feels like I have a steady stream of power that keeps me going strong and opens up endless opportunities. What is the key point there? The next bullet point is steady stream of energy, steady stream of power. The stream, and we have a bunch of slides coming up on this point. Right? So we want to live this. As Sachin is talking, as you're listening, to really bring this inside, bring these words inside your mind. Steady stream of energy flow. That's beautiful. There's very, very good strength in that. Where is this energy going? It's going in the 12 dimensions in your own way. The idea that we are emphasizing this week is the steadiness of this stream of energy. Energy is going to flow. We talked about balancing. We talked about many other ways to think about this. Now we're talking about the flow that is steady and without obstruction, without disturbance. This is the idea. Sounds very nice, but we want to really reach that stage, actually reach that stage. Wonderful. And if you want to write some more points on that about steady stream, has a lot of opportunities. You will notice, this is not just ideas. This is to be experienced. This is not about Sachin trying to convince any of you about these ideas. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. We want to experiment with this and see, is it true? All right, so having said that, we are going to go to the next point here. Next bullet point, or maybe make it into a little subheading. And just the subheading will be the title of these slides, right? So harmonious balance within. Write that down, please, as a subheading. You already have the main heading, and then write down subheading. Harmonious balance within. That's so fantastic, so beautiful just to listen to those 3 words. It's a nice harmony within. I'm going to read this and we'll make some bullets out of this. And you can always make pictures and things like that in later on. We'll get to that later on. When my personal energy moves freely without any hindrances, it establishes a solid base from which I can explore endless opportunities, mirroring the serenity and strength found in a harmonious, balanced ecosystem. What is this analogy about? An ecosystem, like our natural system, it has to remain in harmony. The nature constantly balances itself. So for this bullet point, write this down. That my personal energy equals harmony. Make it really simple. Don't write that whole sentence down. You can write it later if you want in more detail. My personal energy equals harmony. That's it. It's just as simple as that. There isn't anything more complicated. Recognize what is harmony for me, for yourself. Recognize it, and once we get glimpses of harmony, stay in it. Again and again, dive back into harmony. Again and again. That is our practice on a day-to-day basis. Right? So this is the point here. Harmonious balance within. All right, I'm going to go to the next slide. If I'm going too fast for anybody, please just unmute yourself and let me know. I'll slow down. Give you a little break to write things up. This is a beautiful slide. Subheading. Next subheading, write this down. Optimal well-being and potential. And I'm going to read this, give you a chance to write that down first. Optimal well-being. We all know what is well-being. Is it optimal? That's the question. I have potential. Sachin has potential. Meera has potential. Debbie has potential. Eileen has potential. Are we recognizing its optimal state? That's the question. Optimal well-being and potential. So I'm going to read this sentence and then we'll make a couple of bullets out of this. Let's see where it takes us. An unimpeded and serene flow of personal energy lays the groundwork for achieving my full potential. Similar to a river flowing freely, nourishing everything in its path and unlocking boundless possibilities. It's a jam-packed, powerful sentence. We're going to unpack it slowly and just make a couple of bullet points. What's the first point here? We've been talking always about energy. Yes, energy is there, outside, inside, everywhere. Personal energy means energy in this body, in this individual. That's what's meant by personal energy. So the first bullet point underneath this subheading, first point is unimpeded energy flow. Write that down, please. Unimpeded energy flow equals full potential. My full potential. That's the first point. Write that down, please. You can always write it the way you want. You can change it if you want. This is your journey. Sachin is taking his journey. You have to take your journey. So unimpeded personal energy equals groundwork, or full potential. Right? So we're laying the groundwork. Now, the second bullet point is serene flow. How beautiful is that? Serene. We talk about serenity all the time. But serenity is not stagnation. There is dynamism, there's dynamic flow, but it's serene. So the serene flow equals full potential, my full potential. And that's the foundation. So then the third bullet point we can say is I am going to create my foundation. Foundation creation. You can just put that as the next point. Foundation creation. We cannot reach self-mastery, which we want to reach, without laying the foundation to balance every area. So again, these ideas, these words they are guidelines to realize this. It's the inner personal realization more important. And in fact, that's the only thing that is important, not the language itself. The language is only a doorway. The language is only a guide. The language is only on the surface. Don't be stuck with the language. Don't be simply fascinated by the language. That's okay, but that's not good enough. That's not going to help us. We need to internalize it and allow it to be realized. Internalize and realize. Write that down as a bullet point somewhere. Write that down as a bold header. Internalize and realize. See, so there's actually three things: internalize, realize, and then externalize. And then that will flow outside. So internalize, realize, externalize. Write that down, please. Write that down as a header. Some points will come from time to time as we're going through this. It's not the quantity of material being covered here. This is not I mean, there is an educational aspect, but it's not about my giving a workshop or it's not about a presentation. It's about transformation, real transformation, transforming into the full potential. Now, the last part of this sentence, like a river, it's an analogy that is given, river flowing freely, nourishing everything in its path, and unlocking boundless potential possibilities. That can be us. We can be like a river. We definitely can be. And we are actually like a river. We don't know that perhaps. But when each day, each interaction is with this flow of unimpeded and serene energy, serene flow and unimpeded. Unimpeded means there's no obstruction in the flow. And if there is an obstruction, recognize it and apply this principle of awaken from inside through meditation, reflection, contemplation. This idea, internalize that I am unimpeded. Even if there's an impediment, move beyond it. Don't get stuck with that impediment. This is not an instantaneous snap of the finger. This is to be worked on. Everyone is on their own journey in this. So the unimpeded flow, that's a goal. We want to reach that goal. That is not something that immediately is just going to happen. But when we set this goal, we will recognize the obstacles. So please keep this in mind. When Sachin sets the goal that my personal energy needs to be unimpeded, that means unobstructed. And I want it to flow irrespective of what is coming in front of me. Whatever may be coming in front of me, obviously there's going to be challenges, people, places, circumstances that will cause an impediment. If the impediment is there, move through that. How do we move through that? By channeling our energy back into our balanced state and looking at it in a new way, because every situation is different. Don't allow personal energy to get stuck inside the impediment. And that's what's meant by serene flow. These are words seemingly simple, and they are simple, but they are very, very powerful. Extraordinarily powerful ideas these are. Extraordinarily powerful because we are that extraordinary power, which we don't know yet completely. We're just in the beginning phase. This is still the first 13 weeks is just the beginning. But you'll see that I am strong and energetic and full of extraordinary possibilities and potential and free flowing, river flowing freely. You know what that means? It's not getting stuck. There's no dam that is holding it. There's no big obstacle. It is flowing. It's a big analogy. Our life is a flow. Our life is a flow with a glow so we can grow. So write these three words down: flow, glow, and grow. That is how we reach balanced state. And really the purity of joy, the joy that erupts in this, it's all one's own realization. So to flow, energies, thoughts. And remember, when we say energy, we are then assuming thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy, all 5. Hopefully you have that memorized by now. Please do try to memorize that. It's right on your hand. Thoughts, emotions, memories, desires, and energy. And I'll send you the slides on that also. Try to memorize that, please. It is a flow of all 5. And when our energies are flowing without obstruction, our thoughts are also flowing without obstruction. They're interacting the way they need to. Enough energy is placed there as needed. Same thing is true with emotion. How much energy am I going to invest in my emotions? To do what? For what purpose, right? So this is the internalization. And then the possibilities unlock. Boundless possibilities unlock. So give you a chance to look at this. And remember, at 9 o'clock, after this presentation part is done, then we have opportunity to discuss and to contemplate. And please be very open as you want. And please do remember, I am offering to all of you a one-on-one contemplative, just a conversation about the application of these principles. If you would like that, I've already had that with several people, and it's quite good actually. So it's just another way to go about it. All right, beautiful. All right, we're going to do one more of these, then we'll take a little break. Then we'll do the stretching exercise. So next subheader: foundation of self-empowerment. Write that down, please, as a header. Foundation of self-empowerment. What is that? We know what is empowerment, right? The word empowerment has the word power in there, which means energy. To empower means to re-energize, to recognize that, I have all kinds of potential within me. Why should I degrade myself, consider myself below others? Of course, one should not be egotistical to consider oneself better than others. This is Sachin's perspective. But one should not consider oneself downtrodden and below others also. We are together. We are walking together, growing together, glowing together, flowing together. And when we start doing that, that is what is self-empowerment. Our powers, our energies begin to open up, and they become a foundation. Now, let's look at this sentence here. By ensuring your personal energy flows, or we can change that to the first person, by ensuring my personal energy flows without obstruction or disturbance, I can create a robust platform for self-empowerment, much like a tree with deep roots that can withstand storms and grow tall. Now, let's go into this a bit carefully here. So it's my responsibility to ensure, maybe through a religious path, maybe through a meditation path, maybe just through a self-development path, as we're doing here, to ensure as much as I can that my activities in my day-to-day are moving from one to another, without obstruction or disturbance. I have to ensure that. Nobody else is going to ensure it for me. People will give all kinds of advice, guidance, support. There's endless amount of material online, endless number of books. None of that is going to be useful unless we internalize, realize, and externalize. Then it is useful for everybody on the outside, and it's useful for us individually, personally. So internalize, realize, externalize. And when we do that, our energies are flowing, they are glowing, they are growing. 3, 3, 3, these 3 ideas. And so this is how we ensure. Who is going to ensure that obstructions are removed? We have to. We have to recognize it. And it's not it's not a snap of a finger. It's relatively straightforward for me to talk about this. And we need to talk about it and contemplate, but that's not enough. And I'm telling this to myself first before anybody else. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. To really genuinely, to be genuine within, to thy own self be true, as it is stated somewhere in some great scripture. To thy own self be true. I have to see where is my obstruction, what are the outside obstructions, and how to move through them, break through them, so that the energy flow, the time flow, the emotional flow is not getting obstructed. And it's unique to each person. The concept is applicable to all of humanity. Its application is unique to every person in their own way. That is uniqueness. That is the beauty of individuality. That individuality is beautiful. That you are a unique person. Yes, we compare with others, we learn from others, but don't diminish your own individuality. No, not at all. That is not ego. That is empowerment. That is the definition of empowerment in my mind, at least. You are not at all diminishing your individuality with great self-esteem, self-worth, self-growth, self-empowerment. What does that do? It builds a powerful foundation to withstand whatever may be coming in life, storms and everything else. A tree that grows very, very tall, it withstands all kinds of storms. That's the foundation. These are very beautiful ideas, beautiful truths for us to simply internalize. Bring them inside. Don't keep it on the PowerPoint. Don't keep it in the external ideas and videos and what. Bring it inside. It's like having a fantastic buffet of 1,000 items and you've paid $51 for that. And you can eat as much as you want. If you go there, but don't, even if you have a plate, but if you keep it empty, don't put even anything in there. No salad, no cucumbers, no dressing, no nothing, no object of any kind, just sitting with an empty plate. It's of no use. You cannot eat 1,000 items, nor is that necessary. We fill up our plate beautifully with the things that we want, and it will be nourishing for us, and it will be useful for us, and we enjoy it. Similarly, there are countless such ideas. It's how much is internalized, just like the food, that has meaning. How much is digested, that has meaning. And then with that energy is unlocked, that has meaning to do work in the outside world, in our own life. That has meaning. Okay, beautiful. So for, I don't know which bullet point, I think you can make a bullet point here. Maybe something very simple, that self-empowerment equals strong roots. Write that much down, or anything you want to write, up to you. But self-empowerment equals strong roots, deep roots. See, roots get stronger and the tree grows taller when the roots get deeper. Isn't it so? The roots have to be they have to capture depth. Then the tree can grow. Similarly, in our life, for all of us together, for us to grow, glow, and flow, the roots are to be really, really strong. The strength of the roots. In the beginning, it's not very strong. We're just in the first 13 weeks of this process. But we're at week number 9. We're making good progress. Yes, there are going to be some difficulties in the growth, but make the root strong. So what is the root for us? Every idea in the PTP program is part of the roots. Make them strong, not because of Sachin or because of Angel Wing or because of somebody else. It is because you have seen directly yourself that there is truth in this, not because of anybody else. It's a direct first-person vision. Watch out for the mind simply to be fascinated with these ideas. Simply to agree with this is not going to be helpful. It's not going to be helpful enough. It's the development of the root, the strength of the root. That is the idea, that the more these ideas are implanted, more they grow from inside. The roots are growing into the creation of that extraordinary tree that is personal excellence at the very height. 100-year tree, that's the personal excellence. Long-term growth. So that the journey is beautiful. The various stages are beautiful. Okay, so these are fantastic ideas here. At least I think so. I hope you think so too, but it'll be up to you. Okay, let me see what happened here. Give me just a moment. Okay, so welcome back everyone. Please open your second workbook for the 12-dimensional piece. Hopefully you're keeping track of these dimensions. What I'd like you to do today, and please remember, as part of your homework, you're rating each dimension. We've given guidelines for the 12 dimensions. We've given all kinds of information. If you need any help with that, I can talk to you about it in more detail one-on-one. So what we're going to do today in the second workbook, what I'd like you to do, I want you to select one of the dimensions. And I just want you to put mental health. I'm going to guide you through this verbally. Rather than showing you some slides on this, I'm going to just guide you through this verbally, and we'll kind of do it together. I'd like you to put just mental health, my mental health. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Right, we'll talk about it more later at 9 o'clock, but I'm going to give some points here. I want you to just think about this for a moment. Just as we have importance of physical health, our body, we want it to be as healthy as possible. Isn't it so? I think everybody would agree that's so. We want our mind also to be as healthy as possible. So mental health has two words, mental health, and then three words, my mental health. So write that down in workbook number 2. You know, that this is my mental health is one of the dimensions. I think it's dimension 3 or something. My mental health. And underneath that, write this down. That I am taking responsibility for my mental health. I am responsible for the health of my mind. Nobody else is going to take that responsibility for us. I am 100% responsible for my mind. We can write that down. You can write it the way you want. Write these points down, please. Mind is very mysterious. Very mysterious. So write the next bullet point. My mind is a great mystery. Is it mysterious? Yes. There's so much function. It's a phenomenal realm of our existence. Tremendous. It's very mysterious. But we can realize a lot. Okay, next bullet point. Mind and body are one. They are not two. So actually, you want to make it even more specific. We can say my mind, comma, my brain, comma, my body are one. The body, brain, and mind are one. They are not 3 different things. Not at all. What only difference is that the physical body we can see through our senses, the mind we cannot see through our senses, but it is very, very real, just as our body is real. And our brain is obviously real. We have so many pictures of it and dissections and all those things. So hopefully you've written that down, that my body and my mind and my brain. Okay, so start with my body and my brain and my mind are one. They are not 3 different things. They are actually only one. Now, to explain this a little bit further, no doubt, we talk about mind-body connection. But when we say that mind-body connection, there's a sense that there's a mind here and there's a body here, and they're connected somehow through the brain or nervous system or whatever it is. Is that true? Sure, why not? But that's not completely true. It's not actually the case, because we have a tendency to think of them as 3 separate. They are not separate, they are one. How are they one? How is it that they're one? They are one in terms of function. They are one in terms of the overall structure. Now, somebody will say, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by overall structure? Well, there's a structure to the body. That's the anatomy of the body. Okay, now write this down as the next bullet point. My body has anatomy, has structure. You can use the word structure if you want. My body has structure. Of course it does. Obviously, it's measurable, it's gross anatomy. Next bullet point. My brain has structure. Absolutely it does. All kinds of neurons and glial cells and neuron cells and and all kinds of cells and neural activity. And there's so much structure there. Dendritic trees, amazing neurology is there. My brain has structure. Now, here's the interesting point, folks. Next bullet point. My mind has structure. Now, that is very mysterious. What do you mean by structure of the mind? What is that supposed to mean? That is why we meditate and work on energy development and balancing our life and all of this. It is, next bullet point, I can realize the structure of, I can see, I can visualize, I can realize what is the structure. I'm not sure how to say that exactly, grammatically correct. I can realize the structure of the mind. That sounds a little strange to say it that way. It's a realization. The structure of my mind is not some physical structure. It is a realization. And the structure, now the next bullet point, just as, okay, so there's 3 more bullet points here. My body has function, or in parentheses, physiology. Obviously, the heart is pumping. Right now, Sachin's mouth is talking. The hands are moving. We just had a movement exercise. That is function. The body has function. What is that called in medical sciences? Physiology. We know this. We know this from 5th grade, 7th grade, whatever. No mystery there. It's function, right? Now, next bullet point. My brain functions. And put inside there, in parentheses, neurophysiology, if you want to be more technical. You don't have to write that word, but you can if you want. Just simply write, my mind has function, which means neurophysiology. That function is by neurotransmitters and all that electrical activity. We won't go into that, but we know that. We know about that. So my brain has function. Now, my mind functions. Thank God. But the question here, whether it is in the body, in the brain, or in the mind, if there is a problem in the structure or the function or both, it is going to impact all aspects, all 3 aspects of the one personal being, one being. I'm almost hesitant to say 3 parts. They're not 3 parts. This is totally a misnomer. They are not 3 different parts. They are one. They are 3 aspects of the one reality that is I, that is me. I hope this is clear. I hope you're following. If you have questions or comments, wait until 9 o'clock. We'll go into it in much more detail. It'll be a lot of fun. Very interesting. Now we come to the question of health. Several of these dimensions are talking about health. Obviously, what is health? Here's a question. Write this down as a question. What is meant by the word health? What is health? Next bullet point, write down healthy body versus unhealthy body. And this is a very interesting construct distinction. And I want you to write this down also, please. That health, the word health, is a construct. construct. I'll explain it to you, what that is, if you don't know what that is. When we say healthy body, when we say normal blood pressure, when we say, A1C is within a range, when we say our weight is within a range, what is all that? What are all those indicators? Those are indicators of a healthy, balanced state. The technical word is homeostasis. Write that word next. Write that word down. Homeostasis. Homeostasis. You're going to get some technical lingo from here and there, but very easy. Don't get disturbed by it. Don't get overwhelmed by it. It's very simple to understand. Homeostasis, the word that simply means balance. That's all that means, that everything remains in balance. And that's our whole goal. If you want to say our goal is balance. So now, what does the word construct mean? Why is health a construct? Because it's a constructed idea in the mind of researchers that has developed over centuries. It's a constructed idea, just like depression or anxiety or any such notion is a constructed idea by researchers. So when we say, I want to be healthy, I have to know what I mean by health to begin with. What is the difference between an unhealthy body and then on a continuum, a healthy body? So, next bullet point, health is on a continuum, meaning what? There is extremely okay, let's put it this way. Optimal health, to write this down, optimal health, and make a line after that, and then put at the very other extreme, extremely unhealthy. Maybe there's some better word, perhaps. But it's a continuum. Most people are not optimally healthy, and most people are not extremely unhealthy. Some people are. It's like a bell curve. It's on a continuum. We want to really understand this clearly. Then we will see how we can reach that higher stage. So optimal health is one, it's the height of it. Or you can draw a vertical line. If you draw a horizontal line, it's okay. Or you can draw a vertical line. It's a continuum. It's not, it is not, you know how we say healthy versus unhealthy. That's a dichotomous distinction. It's not black and white like that. It's absolutely not. Now you'll notice something, that health is a construct. Health is okay, write this next point down. There are objective measures and subjective measures, subjective experiences. Write this down, objective and subjective. Objective means when we go to the doctor, they do the blood panel, they look at all these indicators. That is objective. They look at height, weight, they prescribe medications and whatnot. This is objective. It is a way of materially understanding what is health. But what is the subjective? So I said, oh, my arm is hurting. My stomach is upset. This is subjective. Very easy to understand. A 7th grader can understand this. A 5th grader might even understand this. I'm trying to keep it really simple. And it is simple, actually. Subjective versus subjective and objective, not versus. So the subjective is my experience. You know, we have continuously, while we're awake and at nighttime, we have subjective, meaning my personal experience of my physical health. How many times all of us have woken up with indigestion or vomit feeling at nighttime, God forbid. You know how terrible that is. It's happened to me many, many times over the years. Because I've eaten something that doesn't sit well, I've eaten something too much, or some imbalance has been created somewhere. And then the stomach says, oh, you got to get this out of your body. So then the brain starts, it starts doing its work, and then we get that terrible queasy. It goes through a whole set of processes, and all of the undigested material gets thrown out of the body. Then we start feeling better. This is homeostasis. This is a physical process. This is a physical process which we all experience. So we are experiencing hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second, millisecond to millisecond, microsecond to microsecond, the state of health. Where is it? And our brain is continuously making changes with the impulses and the neurons and the electrical signals and neurotransmitters so that our body remains in a certain range. This is what's really happening. This is not, you don't need to worry about getting a PhD in physiology to understand this. And it's not a matter of understanding also. It's a matter of realizing this is happening to me. This is why the decisions we make, what to eat, what to see, what to hear, how much time to spend here, there, energy flow, this all has to do with function and structure, with physiology and anatomy. It has to do with the quality of my life. That's also in one of those dimensions, the quality. So write that as a bullet point. Best structure plus best function equals highest quality. Write that down, please. It's very logical. Very straightforward. Very logical, very straightforward. And there is nothing about this that is difficult to grasp or understand at all. Okay, so we'll stop that for now, and then we'll continue on this further for the next 2 more weeks. And then now we're going to do the last 3 parts before we close today. Just a moment here. Let's go into... Okay, so at this point, what I'd like you to do is take a 3x5 card. We have principle number 9 today, and that is wholeness. Wholeness means looking at all parts of a person's life as linked together. Their body, feelings, thoughts, and spirit. It's the idea that for someone to be truly healthy and grow as a person, they need to have balance and harmony across these different parts of their life. You can always change this to first person. Wholeness means looking at all parts of my life as linked together. So change it to first person, please. My body, my feelings, etc. It's the idea that for me to be truly healthy and grow as a person, I need to have balance and harmony across all parts of my life. That's very easy. That's what we've been talking about. But this is a quantum principle. We want to bring wholeness in our life. Just read this one time before having each meal, if you can, please. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to do anything with it. Just read it for this week, every single day, one time before having a meal. Just that one sentence, and then continue on. It will all get naturally embedded within our mental space. I'll give you a moment to write that down. We are very much on time. These are very simple and beautiful notions for every human being. Angel wing is for everybody. It's for the whole of humanity. That is its power. That is its beauty. It's not an opinion. It is an attempt to express the truth that is already in front of us. Okay. So having said this, I'll give you another moment to finish writing. If I'm going too fast, please do let me know. Okay, wonderful. Hopefully you've written that down. And there is a completion exercise here that you can do on your own later on if you want for homework. Please remember to read the central concept just once every day when you wake up or going to bed, or at some point. You can maybe just have it. Oh, sure. Please, yes. Sure. No problem. Yeah, I know. I have a tendency to go a little too fast. I'm trying to slow down here. Yes. This is a quantum principle to keep in mind. Remember what's meant by quantum? It means that once we resonate with this, there is a jump of our consciousness further. We'll talk more about that in the next series, in the next 13-week series. Lots of wonderful things are coming up. Okay. Wonderful. Very nice. This is all about coming together. And we're going to talk more about the mind, brain, body as being one, what it's all about.
Okay, I'm done.
Ready to go on? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so just remember to read this central concept once daily. Our entire program, multi-year program, but you don't have to worry about that, but it's all based on this one central concept. Please remember that. And now it's time to put in some money in the vitamin M envelope for yourself. Remember, you're not turning this into Angel Wing or anything like that. This is just for you to learn the vitamin M concept. It's a huge idea. There have been books written on this. We're going to have a special presenter, hopefully in week 12 and 13 about this. And a lot of fun stuff is coming up. So put in money, and when we get to week 12 and 13, we'll talk about how to use whatever you put in there as a vitamin, right? So keep that in mind, please. And we have our closing song, and we are on time.